Today we're gonna make some camping pies in this oven. Last summer we purchased this oven for our camping trips and we used it all throughout the summer. It was a lot of fun. We made brownies and muffins, but this summer I'm gonna just try some new, completely different things. A lot of this stuff is maybe not stuff you would take on a camping trip, but I just wanna put this thing to the test and see what it really can be capable of. So today I've got 3 different types of pies. I've got a small apple pie. So these are about $1 at the time I purchased them. So we'll see how these work. Like I said, these might be kind of hard to take on an actual camping trip. I'm just testing them out in my backyard. I've got a sausage and gravy deep dish pie. So that'll be something a little different. These are frozen. Maybe you RV camp, or I guess you might have an oven, I don't know. I use a tent. And then at the end, we're gonna try this giant cherry pie in this little camp oven. I think all of these will cook really well, but this summer I just want to try new things. So let's get this set up and let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna heat up this oven. It works pretty well. Like I said, I've used it all last summer, so it's got a lot of use into it. The door got a little bit tough over time, kind of warped a little bit, but it's not too bad. It was cheaper than the Coleman, but I do like that it has the glass window, unlike the Coleman stove. So that has been very handy. But one thing to think about is that the handle right here will get really hot. So you kind of need something to hold that when you open it up. The thermostat is fairly accurate, not the most accurate. And so today we're gonna do these 2 pies. I've got an apple pie and I've got this sausage and gravy deep dish kind of looking pie I've never made before. And so you've got to flip it this way to read the back. So it looks like we have to do 400 degrees for about 32 to 34 minutes. But what I found is, even if this isn't all the way to temp, this cooks a lot faster than a conventional oven. And maybe because there's some movement in there, it's very forgiving. My guess is this might cook in about 10 or 15 minutes. These are frozen, so I've never cooked a frozen meal in here before. I did use this on my hot tent stove in the winter, and I did make some bread. It turned out pretty well, so I fully expect that this will work. But we're gonna be able to fit both of these in here at the same time. If I had another rack, which would be nice, I could do the big pie, but we'll do that at the end. So we're just gonna start with this apple pie and this sausage and gravy deep dish. And then we're gonna have a lot of pies, so hopefully my family and kids are hungry. So I've actually found this thermostat to be about 50 degrees cooler than what it actually is. Last summer I did make some brownies and I put a thermostat in there, and at 350 it would actually be about 400. So when it hits about 350, I'm gonna put both of these pies into this oven. So I'll be back when we're ready to put them in. So it's been about 3 minutes and we're at 300 degrees. So using propane with a propane gas stove heats it up really, really fast. On my hot tent on the stove, it was a lot slower and it definitely didn't get as hot, but there's a lot of heat right there. And I'm on full blast right now. So we're gonna open this up. So you don't wanna touch anywhere on the stove as you open it, but I'm gonna just use a paper towel, pop it open, and we are gonna put in both of the pies, take them out of the holder, and I'm just gonna set them in there. Like I said, I don't think these are gonna take too long to cook. I don't think they'll fall through the bottom. I probably need it to be on something. Maybe it need to be on a cookie sheet, but I don't have one. So we're gonna see how this works. We'll try to keep the temperature about 350, 400 degrees. All right, I realized real quick putting it on the grate was a bad idea. So I'm going to try to take them out, and I might have already failed at this, but I have a vintage Coleman pan, and I'm gonna put them in here. So that's the apple pie. This is the sausage one. But as like I said, the grate was a bad idea. Yeah, as you can see, it's already leaking out. So I'm gonna cut open the top, put some holes in it, and we're gonna try again. Take out some of this. So this is why I'm practicing now than rather go on a camping trip and completely fail. And it will fit in here, so we're just gonna set it in there like that. I've used this so much that the door does come off, but I can put it back on and we will cook this. I'll try to keep it about 350 and then we'll check on it when it's done and see how well it works. It's definitely not gonna take 30 minutes. So we do have a little bit of smoke because when I tried to cook them on the grates, some of the pies fell into the bottom, so it's burning off some of the pie crust. Almost sounds like it's boiling a little bit, but that could be the pie on the bottom. And we do got a little flame down here, So that pie crust on the bottom is definitely burning off. The smoke is mostly gone, but it's gonna definitely have some charred pie crust on the bottom. So I'm glad I moved it into this Coleman container, but not sure how well this is gonna go. But like I said, I'm just kind of doing these for fun to see what I can do. This might go down as not successful. At least I've learned a little bit for the second big pie that we're gonna do at the end. All right, we're about 20 minutes in, so let's open this up. So there's definitely some issues, but part of it is that I took the bottom off. Whoop, there goes my door. I took the bottom off. All right, so there's definitely some issues. And I think part of it is when I set it on the grate on the bottom, the bottoms of the little pies came off. So we're just gonna call this good because without the bottom, they're not gonna actually cook the right way. So let's take these out. The top of the dough actually looks cooked pretty well, so I think we're done with that. But I'm gonna put these down as a failure, partly because I should have put them in a container when I started cooking them and not setting them on the grate. All right, here we go. Not terrible. I think they probably would have cooked okay. After further review, they are pretty terrible. Just the top of the pies cooked. Actually, they look like they cooked pretty well, but the rest of them are probably trash. But we'll go put it on a plate, and I'm gonna go grab the cherry pie. All right, now let's try this Marie Callender's cherry pie. Pretty excited for this one. I hope this one works better. Also, this one comes with a bottom, but what I'm gonna do is I have the stainless steel camping cook set that I purchased this year. I think the stainless steel pot on the bottom will hold it even better. Yeah, so we're gonna do that to make a firmer bottom so we don't have the same issue. But we're gonna put it in. It's already pretty hot because we cooked the last one. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit cooler. It says basically when the pie starts to turn brown, it's done. So I had it at 350 on the last one and it was definitely cooking it very, very fast. So I'm gonna try to keep this one a little bit lower on my thermostat, which I think will make it cook better. But let's cook this and see how it goes. So one of the nice things about this stove is that it will fold in pretty flat and then you just have a little square. It's about this thick and the size of this door kind of folds in like an accordion. And it's pretty easy to take on some trips. It's worked really well. It's had a lot of use for just a year. So my only problem so far is that the door hinges have become a little bit bent where if I open it, it'll fall off, but it's not too bad to just stick them back on and close it. The options are between this and the Coleman one. And like I said, the Coleman one didn't have a window. And at the time, the Coleman one was like 10 bucks more. It kind of changes and sometimes it's about the same. I'll just link to them both in the description. But it's a lot of fun to have. The kids enjoy it and we're trying random things right here. Like I said, I'm doing this for fun because I don't know how well cooking pies and different types of things will work. But this summer, I'm gonna try different things. Okay, we're at about 40 minutes now. Let's try this again. I turned the temperature down a little bit just so it wouldn't get too hot. Oh, that's looking great. Everything about that looks good. And let's check our internal temperature. And let's see what we've got. 152, 160. We need about 5 more degrees on the inside. So I'm gonna rotate it again. And let's move it around to the other side. And we'll just give it a few more minutes. We're at about 50 minutes, so let's check this out. Let's open this up and I think we should be good to go. Like I said, this is still really hot. So we're at definitely over 165, that's at 180. I've got my GSI Stainless Steel plate in here. I'm gonna use my handle just to take this out. I can just lock it on and get it out of here. And there's our pie. That is amazing. Oh, I'm super excited. Okay, so the first two were definitely fails and this is good. So let's let this cool off. We're gonna put this on the table and let's go check it out. And here we have the pie. This is awesome. I'm super excited. As you can see, I also made the other pies and they didn't do too well. So here they are in the green pan. My microphone stopped working. That's why I'm kind of ad-libbing this right here. But here was my pie. I was super excited about how well it came out. And so this is basically me just talking about how awesome the pie looks in the oven that I made and probably just blabbering on about something. But this pie did come out really well. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to open it up and eat it. So here I'm talking about my GSI knife. It is handy to have all of your camping equipment in one section. So I have my GSI cooking utensils, and they're all in one nice handy case, and you can have all of that when you need it. And then all of my kitchen utensils, forks, knives, spatulas that I'm going to use here are all in one set. So if you're looking for a good set, this is not sponsored. Those are just things that I think are pretty cool, and it's nice to have them all together. But here I am cutting the pie. As you can see, it really did come out awesome. I am absolutely ecstatic about how well this pie cooked. And so I expected it would, and it did a lot better once I had it on a plate and that this pie had a built-in container to hold it. So one thing I need to look for when I'm purchasing items to cook in my oven this summer is that they're basically self-contained, because that made a huge difference. So here's my GSI fork that also came in the utensil set, and I'm going to put the pie on the fork, and we are going to eat it, and it's going to be amazing. So this pie came out great, so thank you for watching. I can't wait to try new things this summer, and I hope you follow along. Have a great day.